Laughing, you can hear our good friend. What is your name?
Weeb.
And to his right, what is your name, sir?
That's me. I'm Sir. My name is Shawna.
And last but not least, what is your name, last sir?
I'm Tim.
And I'm today's probably a host, but not actually a host as.
I have a preliminary question.
Okay, what's the preliminary question?
Before we started recording, did you say a word that you thought meant silence in Japanese?
No.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say that was the wrong word. All right, continue.
I just said silence.
Oh, okay. It sounded funny.
This train wreck is almost as train wrecky as the show we covered this week. The God of High School.
Man, what a fast show. I mean, it's a real roller coaster.
I enjoyed myself. I like how it starts with them on the bicycles just going ham, because that's a good, start for the whole show.
Who'd like to give a nice little spoiler-free synopsis?
I do that. That's my job. It's called a weebopsis. Oh gosh, I had one ready and I forgot it. Man with mommy issues almost destroys world? Question mark?
Okay.
Also confusing.
What? Who has mommy issues?
What do you mean, who has mommy issues?
He wasn't even, important until the last 3 episodes, and he's your entire weebopsis.
Okay, dude with grandpappy issues punches things hardly and somehow gets good out of nowhere with no training.
Oh, that guy. I was like, who are you talking about with mommy issues? And I remembered, that guy
Shark
who's
Boy.
barely important.
Shark Boy?
Yeah, he's Shark Boy. And then there's Lava Girl.
Dang it, I wanted to make that joke.
Sorry.
You still did in my heart.
All the training was off screen. They trained all growing up, and now they're in the tournament.
Oh, but that's the thing. He was fighting in the tournament, about to lose to some dude, and then just out of nowhere, he's like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna
Yeah, it's annoying. That's one of my critiques. We'll wait until...
this is a lot of spoilers.
Let's wait until we get into the spoilers section, please.
Okay, does everyone recommend this show? Because I'm going to say no, read it instead because it's terribly paced.
I'm gonna say that if you like action anime and you've seen a lot of anime and you just want an experience, then yes, because I watched it and I had such a good time, even though it was a nightmare. I enjoyed almost every second of it, and that is so weird for me for something that is just so terribly executed. But I just had so much fun. So, I don't know.
That is shocking, because I don't think I recommend this one, and Shawna does.
But I don't know. No, it's a conditional recommendation. It depends on your anime experience. I would not recommend this.
If you describe this as how we are now, super fast paced, just fights, story doesn't matter, who cares, fight, you would think I would love it, but I didn't.
Yeah, weeb, you've grown. That's all that means.
It's because there wasn't enough explosions and hard work. It was just fight.
Wait, we need to talk about this later.
Wait, Tim, would you recommend it?
I would not recommend it. I'd say probably what Az said, just read the webtoon that it's based on.
So much better.
Yeah, I mean, it is like what Shawna said. It's a fun show, but there's too many things that get in the way of you having fun.
Oh, I have so many things to say. Move along.
Okay, we're going to move into spoiler sections. If you don't want to be spoiled, get out now. Okay, do your synopsis.
Okay, so there's this guy, and we meet him, and he's riding a bicycle, and then he runs into 2 other people that are going to this tournament called God of High School, and apparently it's just where teenagers are all fighting, and no one seems to either notice or care that people have special powers. It's very strange. And they meet each other, they become allies, and then it's about them going through the tournament, and we find out that God of High School is actually something that is put together in order to find a certain person who is known as the key, and it's supposed to weed out the powerful people that have Chariok, which is not how they say it. They say it Shokri or something. I don't know. They changed the terminology.
The terminology they use in the translated version of the webtoon is borrowed power.
Yeah, they borrow power from the gods, which we find out very late in the anime, and everything is just not handled particularly well. However, the concepts are great. I love the concepts, and I love the character design, and I just loved the explosive energy of the first episode. And y'all know that if it starts with the battle royale, Shanzo Madrid is on board until you throw her off the ship.
Which I think they did eventually, right?
Yes, they did throw me off the ship.
I totally thought this was just going to be like a martial arts tournament show.
I was ready for it.
And it completely does a 180, like midway through the show.
That's what everyone expects. They don't realize the God part of God of High School. Also, they never go to high school.
Yeah, I thought it was a misnomer at first. I'm like, God of High School. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? This one dude's 38 and he's fighting in this tournament. And then it's like, once you get to the end, it makes a little more sense.
I literally never put that together until this moment.
That none of them go to high school?
I thought that it's God of High School because they, use the god's powers. I just always considered God of High School to be, a gimmick that they used, for marketing.
I thought it was just a reference to Jin, himself, because he is literally a god, and he's in high school.
The Monkey King isn't a god? He's a defier of the gods?
I can get into that later, because I did some fat research for that.
Oh boy. I'm excited.
Maybe I'll replace the Weebird with just tons of research.
Did you read Journey of the West?
I've watched it.
Which one?
The guy who did Kung Fu Hustle.
That's not the right one. They changed a lot of stuff with that one, but that one's very good too. I enjoyed that one.
It's entertaining, yeah. I can get into it later more, but basically all you have to know is that this story is loosely inspired by Journey to the West, a Chinese novel that was written the 16th century.
I didn't like that they didn't ever really explain anything about the Monkey King, not even a single line. I don't really feel like I need a ton of information because it's very clear that they're setting everything up. And one thing I did like about this show is how it slowly revealed things, but then all the reveals and everything were just nuts and insane and nothing made sense after the first 4 episodes. So it started off with a lot of promise for me, but again, I think that the concepts are really cool, and I think that the idea of the reveals were also very cool, but the execution that Crunchyroll did was just a nightmare. And I'm just wondering, do they have monkeys in their writer's room?
I assume they've done something, because MAPPA usually knocks it out of the park.
Tower of God was not this bad, but
it also seemed to suffer from the same problems of, we're giving you 13 episodes and you have to do up to this point.
And why are they doing that? Why don't they choose a narrative arc that makes more sense? It feels like they're choosing marketing arcs. They chose the marketing arc of we need to do the whole tournament because that's what people expect when they want to watch it. When naturally, we should have had the end of the show at episode 6. And then the end of the tournament should have been the second season. It's not fair to call them monkeys, but it's just I think that they're making way too commercial decisions and just really butchered this one.
Yeah, I thought this could have been a great show if they would have made it maybe 24 episodes just to really drag it out and actually get these important character things that they tried to do, but it happened so fast that you couldn't enjoy it or really feel the weight of it.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, that whole wedding episode that
was insane.
That should have been a whole arc, and they made that one episode, beginning to end, resolved. And I was like, I can't believe this.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it was happening. And honestly, I was enjoying it because it was so insane. The world is moving, in fast motion or something. Didn't you say that they had, stuffed, 70 chapters?
Yeah, they stuffed a lot. I can't remember the exact number, but someone did the math, and it was I think it was over 50 chapters that they just stuffed in one episode.
That is insane.
This whole show was very confusing to me.
And it's I couldn't even believe, with Jin and Han, them going there and, trying to be her best friend, you guys just kind of met 2 episodes ago, and now you're trying to stop her wedding. It was just way too fast.
Okay, can we talk about names? I don't know any of their names.
Okay, Jin is the main guy with the X's in his eyes, Jin Mori. I don't like saying the best friend role because they pronounce it day, but it's spelled Daewi.
It's Korean, right?
It's Korean.
Yeah, because this takes place in Korea. It's a Korean webtoon.
If you watch the dub, they call him Daewi Ha.
Daewi Ha? Okay. And then, what's her name? Mira?
Yeah, but then I don't remember any of the rest of the... I only know those three.
Everyone else is just described by their characteristics. Shark guy, guy who smokes and is the coolest ever with the Joker thing. The other guy that I can't tell is a guy or a girl with the white hair with the, like, extreme chop off on the hair. Super cool character. Want to see more of them.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a guy, but they, like, made a female voice him in this, and I was really confused, and they made him a lot more feminine looking.
I really, really liked him and the Joker user. I thought that together they were so cool.
The guy who gets his pay cut the whole time.
I love him.
I wanted to see so much more of him.
Well, don't worry. He doesn't go anywhere.
I just put something together, Tim, as Mori Jin. Is he just Hiruzen? Hiruzen's summon? Hiruzen's summon is the monkey with the stick that gets longer and shorter.
What are you talking about? Hiruzen's summon? What is that from?
Hiruzen had a monkey summon, and then the summon would turn into a stick, and then he could control.
Oh yeah, that was a Monkey King reference.
What is this that you're talking about?
Shawna, you haven't seen the best show ever
He's
made.
talking about
so
Naruto.
You can just sit this one out.
Sorry, I didn't realize we were talking about Nard now.
No, but I wanted to talk about how close the show was to Dragon Ball, because that's what I was getting the whole time, was Dragon Ball Z vibes.
Dragon Ball Z is also based on Journey to the West.
Because Jin Mori is basically just Goku. Like, they're both monkey boys. They both just want to fight the strongest people.
Isn't Goku cranky, though?
No.
He seems cranky in all his pictures.
That's just when he's fighting, but he's more determined, mostly.
He's also worse, Dad.
Sasuke's worse dad.
Okay, can I talk about one thing that I have a problem with? My biggest problem, I think. It is that the power dynamics are just whatever they feel like every episode. Like, there is no metric for us to measure where someone is on the power scale. It's just where they decide to be that day.
They had the thing on their arm.
No, but the plot doesn't follow that. Like, Mori literally will knock out Joker Man, who is part of this, like, super powerful organization. With one hit, he knocks him over, and then the next day he's in a fight with somebody and he's getting his butt kicked that, like, is nowhere near the level of this other guy, and it just, like, flip-flops constantly for all of them, and I just have no bearing about where anyone is. And, like, I don't even mind some of those, like, I powered up just 'cause I did tropes. But that's all it did. It was, I powered up just because I did. And when they were losing, I didn't even believe that they should be losing.
Most of the time when Mori loses, he just lets himself lose.
But it's just with every single fight, though. They don't make it clear how it should be based on skill. It's just, well, whatever we feel like right now.
It's because of the super fast pacing.
Yeah, it makes nothing make sense. It makes nothing have any tension or weight because you're just like, okay.
They just don't have time to explain. They just gotta roll with it.
Yeah, I think if they paced it a little bit more...
You needed, like, one episode where you just explain properly the powers. Like, what is this whole thing with the gods? And, like, how do you get the power? What do they want? Like, what is the relationship there?
Yeah, I was actually in the writing room when they were deciding that. They decided to go with the wedding episode instead.
Oh, also, I don't mind the whole we're gonna let high school students kill each other because we've got magic nanobots in their blood to heal them, but you've got to be consistent because you have one person get, like, beat up and then they're almost dead, and then you have another person get chomped on by a shark, so he should be, like, literally just mush, and he's healed. None of the violence and recovery made sense either.
Yeah, like the people losing their legs just permanently lost their legs.
That was the only time where that, like, you felt that, like, that mattered.
Yeah, but the nanobots can cure cancer. You don't understand.
I believe that when Mira got hurt, like, she was healed because she was hurt in, like, just a regular beating. But that person who was literally eaten by a shark, like, 3 times, like, and you saw the shark chewing his body? Are you kidding me?
The waterfall of blood coming out.
Yeah, like, and every time, like, a fight would end, they would immediately call it. And then, like, other times, they'd let someone lie on the ground for, like, 45 minutes and let them have their exposition, and then they wouldn't call it, and there was just no structure to anything, and nothing made sense. The end.
It's because the tournament doesn't matter. It's all just set up.
Everything's set.
I thought it was going to make more sense. Like, they were going to have some concrete rules. This was going to be, like, a whole season of people fighting and, like, matches. And it's literally, like, a couple episodes where they're just...
That's what this season should have been. This should have been all the tournament stuff. Because, let me tell you, spoilers ahead, there's no more tournament after this.
And it could have been. They could have, like, the first couple episodes could have been stretched out more, and we could have seen more of, like, of the fights.
You barely see Bat Guy. Bat Guy is a very important guy.
Very few of the fighters in the tournament got, like, any kind of screen time, besides the dude who was 38 trying to get back into school, and then the glasses girl who looks like Karin from Naruto.
You're right,
and
she
is
does.
basically the clone for Mira to fight, because they both have glasses and they both use swords.
And they're both swordsmen from their respective schools.
I guess Ipio, right?
Ipio, yeah.
Yeah, him too, but that's basically it.
And those other 2 that he was with.
They're nothing but motivation for him when they get hurt.
I wish this show was about the 6, the organization of the people running the tournament, because they're all so cool.
That was so interesting. All those
They're
dudes.
so interesting.
But literally every one of their introductions are like 2 seconds, where I can't even read what's on the card to know what their names are.
Yeah, I paused it.
I would have to pause it to learn. I didn't care. I didn't want to pause.
Even though I knew all of them, I paused it still.
What's the main guy's name that runs the tournament?
Nugent Park?
Yeah, I like him. He's so cool.
He is cool. I thought he was gonna be a bad guy because he
too.
looks like a bad. He's got the scar on his head and he's got
And
the
he
horn
crushed
devils.
those guys at the beginning.
That was such a cool move, and that's another spoiler reference to Journey to the West. But we'll save that for later.
Can we talk about the soundtrack and the intro and openings? Because honestly, really good.
Why not? Because they're bops.
I love them.
Because you brought up the dude, and I thought of the dude's music, and I was like, yo, the music in this show is really good.
That's one thing Crunchyroll has been getting right. Is the people they bring on for the music has been, like, top-notch.
And the opening themes in general are awesome to watch. Like, they're like, they hype you up like crazy.
I did like how the opening also evolved as, like, the different tournament arcs, even though there were, like, less of arcs and more of, here's 3 episodes with these characters. Okay, now we're gonna change the opening.
Yeah, the opening was awesome.
Yeah, I thought the opening was good. I didn't care for the ending.
It's just, like, a couple of pals hanging out.
It felt too commercial, like the same thing that Crunchyroll's been doing. Like, we're just trying to appease people by giving them these little fluffy endings.
When you have an action show, you want an ending that brings you down after you've just been brought up. Especially for, like, an action show, you want an opening that's high energy, that, like, gets you pumped and adrenaline flowing, and then you want an ending that brings you down. So, I think we've gone over our best points and worst points, unless someone has anything else they want to bring
I could
up.
have some more.
Oh, I also have some. Go ahead, Tim.
Okay, I'll just fly through these. I thought the animation was good, but nothing particularly blew me away. And I was hoping for some amazing fight scenes, but I never really got any.
That first scene where, like, it was, like, the big group of them, though, was really good.
Yeah, there'll be some, like, moments where they'll be really cool looking. Like, I thought Mori and Ipio's fight was really interesting. Yeah. But other than that, I didn't really feel too impressed with stuff like some other shows have done with the fighting.
I like the choreography, though. Like, the style was really cool to me.
I'm no martial arts expert, but I think they did do quite a bit of, like, actual martial arts, like, research.
It felt like it.
They didn't do any American wrestling research, though.
Didn't she do, like, a bunch of Nelsons and, like,
She was doing, like, WWE kind of stuff. Like, jumping off the off the
Yeah,
ropes
that's
and
American
stuff
wrestling.
like that.
That's nothing's
No.
more American than WWE. What are you talking about?
Okay, best shit.
No one had any worse points or best points?
I just wish some of the characters would have had more to do. Like, there was that whole thing with the announcer dude who got killed. Like, what was his deal? Like, he got blinded by Mira's sword. We never learned what that was about.
Yeah, they skipped over that so fast.
How would he be like, "Oh, Mira, good to see you here," when you're blind? Like, how does he know?
He knows. There's a way he knows, but they didn't talk about it in the anime because they suck.
What? Tell us.
It basically has to do with his powers.
Yeah, when you have powers, you can see through your powers in some way.
Man.
Usually.
Like, you remember how Toph can just earthbend to see things?
My best ship is Joker guy and white-haired guy, best friends forever, touring the world, getting out of debt. Love it.
No, Dawe and Mira, all the way.
No. Y'all are both wrong. Who's that chick that lost her leg? Her and me.
Oh, because she works so hard.
Wait, which girl? The
The one
fighter
that like
girl?
got her leg chopped off.
Yeah, she was buff, man.
I like the buff chicks.
We want someone who can squish his head between their thighs.
Best girl is Mira.
Yeah.
For sure. There's a lot of weird girls I didn't like in this show.
I actually really liked how Mira was written. She was like really well written. I was very surprised.
There was that one girl with like the weird lips who was like a cat girl kind of.
Yeah, she's weird.
Didn't like her at all.
Her lips are just annoying to look at. It's like, what are you doing? It's like a fish face.
Yeah, she Botoxes, you know?
Maybe she has a fish god power.
If you had a god power, what physical attribute would you gain?
Her lips. Best boy.
Oh, that's hard. I
I
don't
think
think I
it's
can say
Ipyo.
this without, like... I know too much about this show.
Park Moo-jin or Joker guy for me.
I'm just gonna say it. Taijin.
I like him too. I don't know. I kind of just want to say Mori Jin because I always just say the main character.
He's not as interesting to me as some of the other people, but he's not bad.
They haven't really got into him yet, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Mori Jin.
The beginning of the show is much more about the side characters than it is about Mori. He's just sort of like building his relationships with everyone.
But I think that was a good choice because he is supposed to seem like a very Stillwater's like do not run deep kind of person.
Yeah.
Like he's supposed to seem very like light and fluffy and like everything's cool, but then like slowly you realize like no, like he's by himself. He's been by himself for a while. Like he doesn't know where his grandpa is. Like all he wants is to be with his family. And I think that was a good execution decision for them, is to slowly give us more.
They showed his Monkey King flashbacks, right? Or some of them?
Yeah, at the very end, he's like standing in front of an army, but that's it. I don't remember anything much else.
That
from
was
that.
confusing how it would like jump around sometimes, and I wasn't sure who was who sometimes with some of the cuts they made. It was very confusing.
Yeah, I think overall this anime is a confusing out of confusing.
Also, like all those giant fights of the like giant god came out of the sky and they were all fighting, and I was like, I don't know what's going on here. And I wanted to know that freaking sword that came down, what did it say on it? It said something really cool.
It was like a biblical quote. It's like about the end times, basically. Basically, they were trying to summon a god.
I thought it was interesting because this is a Korean-made thing. It takes place in Korea, that they do reference some of the things in Korea, like how they're kind of with the tensions between the North and the South. That was kind of interesting. There was like this war that they got into.
Yeah.
And then like that grandpa dude fought for them. It was kind of weird.
I love how just out of nowhere, totally uninvited, for pretty much no reason, the U.S. just sent tons of nukes over. And it's like, yeah.
Well, that's how they would react to that kind of thing.
And what happened to them?
The magician guy tore them apart and turned them into another bigger nuke to fight off the giant sword.
Wait, is that what happens?
It was very confusing.
They really, like, screwed up that part, because I was really mad, because that is
that
actually,
the guy
like,
that was dancing with the drums?
It was the dude with the top hat.
Oh, right.
Who's the grandfather of the dude who got, like, completely destroyed by Shark Guy.
And how come they let Shark Guy literally kill people in the tournament?
Because they're trying to get him to cause enough disruption.
His motivation was so whack. Like, he just doesn't want to be a loser. Like, that's why he does all this. He's still a loser.
Yeah,
That's
you're
a very
still a
common
loser.
thing in anime. Just look at Bakugo.
His voice, though, it's the same guy as Overhaul, I'm pretty sure.
His voice was nuts. I loved it. It was crazy, and like how like low and guttural and muttery it was. I'm actually surprised he got away with some of it, because like you couldn't really hear what he was saying fully, but like I loved it. It was so good.
Well, we talked about sound, art, story, and VA.
No. Wait.
Oh, you got more.
Speaking back to art, I mentioned this before in the group chat, but I did not like the style of the red noses and like
Freaking red noses.
red body
I didn't
parts.
like it either.
It made me think they were like sick, or it was just weirdly like noticeable.
It was so annoying. Just
It
red
looked
noses.
like they were cold all the time. Is that what he was going for? Like they're always cold?
No, I think it's more like they're like breathing so much, right?
That their ears turn red and their shoulders
Yeah,
and
like their
knees
blood
turn
is
red?
flowing so much that they're like they show like physically see the red.
But their noses are the most red when they're just walking down the street, which annoys me.
Cause yeah, I am trained from watching anime that usually means somebody's sick, like they have a cold.
Yeah, or it's a bath scene where all of the stupid naked body parts are shining red.
It took some getting used to.
That's just the art style of the webtoon. It's definitely meant to like show off like blood flow, right? Because the same thing happens when you're cold, right? That's why your ears get red.
I just thought it was a way for them to show like, oh, it's like 3D almost, right? Look at this shading. It's red. There's some glints of light on their shoulders.
Maybe. Who knows? Maybe I'm completely wrong on my hypothesis.
Hey, are we at already out of 10 ratings?
I was thinking Tim would lay down his stuff you wanted to mention about Journey to the West.
I can do that, I guess. So yeah, it's based on this 16th century Chinese novel called Journey to the West. You can see that in Jin Mori, who's basically Sun Wukong, which is the Monkey King's name. I'm not gonna get into like who the Monkey King is too much. You can just read about that if you want.
Very based in Buddhism.
Yeah, which is like what Park Mujin I think is connected to, because when he brings down the hand like on the land, that's like a Buddha thing that happens in Journey to the West, I'm pretty sure. And then the Monkey King is basically like the same as Jin Mori. He's like a trickster. He's childish. There's that thing where Park Mujin gives him the peach, which happens in the story, because like he's supposed to guard the sacred peach garden that gives you immortality.
My question is, what is just the very basic plot of Journey to the West?
It basically starts with the Monkey King just being a monster who then does a bunch of stuff that defies the gods. He ends up becoming immortal in heaven.
Yeah, he's like an annoyance to all the gods up in heaven.
The Monkey King?
Yeah. He basically becomes immortal, and then as his punishment, he lives in a mountain for a really long time, and then Buddha sends this prophet to go to India, I think is where they're supposed to go, and then assigns Monkey King to protect him, and then on that journey they meet some other monsters and stuff, and Monkey King gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and at the end, I think they make it to India, and almost every other story that tries to do a follow-up says is like, the prophet died, and now Monkey King's sad and all alone because he's immortal.
The story of that isn't important. It's the character and like the references they make, like the headband you see on Jin Mori's head when he changes. That's like true to this character in the story. It's supposed to be like basically like a celestial dog collar. Like if he's like misbehaving, it tightens on his head. And then like the staff that you see, obviously how it shrinks and expands.
Does it get tighter on his head in the show?
Yeah. It does.
When?
Remember, after he wakes up, it tightens and he's like, ah!
It just starts tightening on his head. He tries to pull at it, but it doesn't. Nothing happens.
Oh, at the end. Okay. Alright, well, out of 10 then. Weeb?
I don't know. 10 out of 10. 1 out of 10.
Listen, he's gonna keep doing this every time we try and get him to be serious, so we might as well just say okay with the first one he gives.
Well, no, because I wanted to give it a 5 out of 10, because honestly, I was just like, whatever about the show. But I can't just give it a 5. I had to be extreme, but I didn't know which way to go. So I did the bit you see.
I see. As, what do you give it as our webtoon reader?
It's like a 5, but sometimes, like, just the fact that lots of times it just doesn't make sense. I might have to give it a 4, honestly.
Wow.
This might be my lowest rating yet. I hate the pacing. Like, just watching it, like, even knowing what happens, I'm like, they're missing so much. Even worse than Tower of God level. Like, even my love for the webtoon can't make me push up the score. I think it's definitely a 4. It doesn't tell a cohesive story well enough. It's pretty, but it doesn't do a good enough job in the storytelling.
Tim?
I'm gonna give it a 6 because I think it's fine. Because there are some stuff to enjoy about it, and you can see the potential. And it's like, man, I just wish they would have really extended it to make either a 24 episode season or just pick something smaller for the first season and do a second season. But
yeah,
they just tried to squeeze way too much, way too fast, and I just gotta give it a 6.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to give it a 6. When I finished it, I gave it a 7 just because how much fun I had, especially the first half. I had so much fun. I just loved watching it. I love tournament stuff. I love Battle Royale stuff. I just love all that garbage. And I loved the idea of, like, all the little hints we were getting and how things were, like, being slowly revealed and not being told anything, like, until it got insane and just bad storytelling. But yeah, I would say it's, like, just above average for me.
You know what? I might push myself up to a 5.
I think that's fair.
I did enjoy it.
It's got dudes in suits fighting, which is pretty cool.
I don't know if I'm going to watch season 2 or not.
I'm going to be genuinely surprised if any of these webtoon shows get a season 2.
Tower of God will.
It hasn't been confirmed. I think it's just doing that to try and get people... Remember, this is a partnership with webtoons. I think the whole point was they wanted to tell these specific arcs, because the whole point is they want to end at a point where people will be like, yes, I want to know what's next. Let me go read it.
I see. Oh, I have one more critique. I absolutely hated how often we saw the words Crunchyroll on the fighting ring. I hated it so much. It made me so angry.
I love that instead of putting, like, all the fake advertising in there, they decided to use, like, actual advertising of their actual sponsors. I love that.
But it was only Webtoon and Crunchyroll just over and over and over.
It's so dumb. Because, like, why are you marketing yourselves when we're already using your service to watch it?
Well, I guess
I actually like that.
The argument could be it could be, like, pirated everywhere, and it's got its watermark, as it were.
You think people would steal anime?
I can't think of a similar show.
Can you really not think of a similar show, Shawna?
I mean, any fighting show. What's a fighting show?
Okay, so you're telling me people in high school competing at the highest level to achieve their dreams doesn't sound like anything else
Sword
to
Art
you?
Online.
No, shut up. Haikyuu.
It's Haikyuu. It sounds like Haikyuu.
How can it not be Haikyuu?
I need more Battle Royale stuff.
It's like Dragon Ball had a child with Persona.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's, yeah. Persona / JoJo's. Less Persona, more JoJo.
There's a lot of action shows one could recommend, but I'm not gonna do it.
I'm just gonna recommend Tower of God.
Another webtoon, better than this one.
You can email us at AIRWeWeeb@gmail.com.
Tim doesn't have a weeb word because Tim did our weeb research this week.
What's the Japanese word for monkey?
Monkey.
Monkey.
Probably something like that.
According to Google Translate, it's just monkey, which I know is not right, but I don't want to look it up.
Hey, follow us on all our stuff, and make sure to subscribe to wherever you listen to podcasts. We might be changing up how we do these things from now on in the future. We'll keep you posted on that.
Next week's show, we're gonna do Blue Spring Ride.
A shoujo again. Will this one change Tim's mind on shoujos?
Some
Let's
would say
find
that
out.
this is the first shoujo we did because I am maintaining that My Little Monster is not one. Thank you. Good night.
Wait, we have done way more than one shoujo. Hold on.
No, we haven't. No, we haven't. We haven't done any.
Nozaki-kun?
That is not a shoujo. That's a comedy. It's a gag comedy.
Wait, so this is gonna be that, but less funny? I'm gonna kill myself.
No.
I'm done. No.
Would you download a car? Yes. The answer is yes, I would.